how to work with a partner in a business. Now, if you found a partner, you are a rare few people. Or by partner, also, I don't mean like your auntie's cousin or something. It could be a mentor, a coach, or someone you just find online, like you want to work with. Now, finding a partner is hard because what happens is that most people, like, of course, we all want to make money, we all want to travel, we all want to do this like basic surface level goals. You need to find the right intention of a person, or if they don't have a goal, what you can do, what like I like to do, is that you can represent them your goals, or they can represent their goals to you, and if you both mutually agree, you act upon it. It could be like, hey, I want to become world champion kickboxer, or I want to become world champion UFC fighter. So if you have two guys training in the gym and they're like, yeah, that sounds good, I want to do that as well, I want to try it at least. If you can find a guy that's like, okay, I want to try this, and maybe he says to you, you have a partner now because you have the same goal. Because once that is done, here's how you kind of like make it last. Because you have to understand that you, with your partner or whoever it is, you are a car on a highway. Now, why have I taken this example? It's super important because if you see, everything has harmony right here. Nobody's crashing into each other. Everybody's going there. Nobody's like, like, of course, there's some a-holes in the entire like road. That's a different topic. But you can see that these people are just, conducting their day-to-day lives. They don't really care. They're not, like honing it down to death. They're not crashing into each other. And when do crashes happen? Now, let me tell you why. It's because they have a mutual interest with each other. You don't crash my car, I don't crash your car. We're both gonna walk in, and that's the main difference. This is what people lack: is you need to have a mutual agreement between each other that, hey, you have this goal, I have this goal as well. I want to get to, let's say, from Florida to like Arizona. All of us want to go there. So I'm gonna walk in there. You also walk in there. Don't crash into my car. I won't crash into yours. It's a mutual agreement. That's why everything is working. But as soon as this is like turned off, or maybe somebody wants to, speed, somebody wants to do something else, they crash. So if you do not have a mutual agreement inside of your relationship, or you don't have a similar goal, or you don't have a similar sort of thinking or interest, the relationship will not last. This isn't your girlfriend, by the way. This is someone who you need to be brutally honest with, because if you are not brutally honest with each other, you're gonna crash one way or another. Have transparency. If you do not, like, when you're driving a car, everybody knows, like, okay, this guy's not gonna crash into me. I know, because there's full transparency. There's a full agreement that, hey, we don't both want to die. That's the thing. And the thing is, like, even if you have a mutual agreement, if you have the similar goal, even the transparency can come a little down below, and you can still work. But the issue is that most people don't have mutual agreement, and they don't have transparency, which kills the entire relationship that they have in the first place. Now, what do? Is that you decide and divide the work accordingly. If you're lazy here, you will cause issues as fast as possible. Because what happens is that you're like, okay, listen, let me just do an example with these cars again. Okay, so this is you, right? I'm gonna drive the trucks because I know how to drive trucks. You drive the supercar, right? Now, it might be that the supercar you want to drive as well, but you're not good at that. You're good at driving trucks, and maybe he wants to drive trucks, but he doesn't know how to drive them. Whatever the scenario is, whatever the work you have, you need to divide it according to your strengths and according to who you are as an individual. Me, or someone else, like, I'm really creative, I like to do all this, I'm not really a numbers guy, or I don't like sit there look in the details, so I need someone who can do that and who's good at that, or I see his strengths and then I use it against like mine. Because what happens is that once there's this split, right? You do this, I do this. If you guys can come up with your work and the way like you conduct yourself, what will happen in the end is that this whole will become like complete. This will be completely done, right? Because in the end, you want to achieve what? The mission. You want to go from Florida to Arizona, or whatever your goal is. But you need to understand is that if you want to get to your goal, there will be work that you're good at. There will be work he's good at. It's not what you like. It's what you're good at. Choose that work, because that's going to make both of you have, first of all, have mutual agreements. And second of all, you can do the task. Because as soon as people get lazy, as soon as this starts to happen, where one guy is working his ass off, the other one is not, the relationship just ends, like it's gone. Because he's like, hey, you were supposed to do this, I was supposed to do that. You start pointing fingers at each other, and then it's just done. It's completely gone. Now, the other point I want to make is that constantly looking at your goals and doing what you can best and who has the X and Y. Now, You guys need to be like we bear bears. If you're someone who lived a life, or if you weren't born yesterday, you probably know V bear bears. Now all these three bears, they're G's, right? They're complete G's. They're the man. Reason being that they all wanted to live like the white one, the polar bear was smart. This guy was kind of like shy. This one was like the outrageous. He would like hit someone and stuff. I don't really remember the show. But you can kind of understand is that everybody played their roles accordingly because they constantly had a goal to keep on. So everybody played their roles. Everybody did their stuff. Who's good at? The polar bear did not say, hey, I want to live in the forest. The panda did not say, I want to live in the Antarctic. They all had their own source of nature and they used them together to build a team. As another thing, you don't need to be the exact same person. If you're working with someone else and they're different than you, that's good. That's a really, really good point. Reason being that is that you understand your field and your nature, and they understand their field and their nature, which causes what? Which causes what in the end? A complete circle again. How does a habitat get made? There are trees. Let me make a beautiful tree. Let me try it. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, that's lovely. There's tree, there's waters, there are clouds, all this stuff, right? Everybody's playing their role. If the tree starts to say, nah, I want to be water, I want to be clouds, I want to be all this stuff, the entire environment, the atmosphere gets messed up. This is what you guys need to do. This is why you guys struggle with. You pick something. This is like what people do. Like, hey, bro, do you want to work with me? Yeah, let's make some money. So surface level goals, which does not make like any sense. Like, why would you even have that? Okay, oh, bro, we want to make some money. So the surface level goal comes in of making money. Fine. Even your grandma wants to make money. Would you work with her? No, no, hey, grandma, but still. You have surface level goals. Then it's like, okay, what I like working on, I like. It's not like what I'm good at. Oh, I like doing this, so I'm gonna do this. And what you like is probably some complete bullshit. So I like doing this. Hey, bro. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. You do this. Or the person is like he doesn't even lead. So if you don't know what you're good at, if you don't know what you're doing, one guy leads and it's like, hey, do you want to try it out as well? You do that, you get better. Like you're like, okay, bro, I've learned how to close deals. I learned how to close deals, right? Now, this is how I learned it. You pass on the skill to that person and you're like, okay, bro, do this. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get better at it. I'm gonna teach you as well. And then on top of that, while you're closing, you go for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, which causes a constant progression, a constant growth. And this is what you do. But as soon as you get, if even if you get these two parts right, you'll probably be together for a long time and achieve your goals because you're working on what you're good at and you're teaching the other guy how to be good at that as well. You're exchanging skills at this point. This person is saying, hey, I'm good at copywriting. Hey, I'm good at writing. I'm good at making video games, whatever it is. Like I'm good at coding. You pass on to each other. Now, of course, they can't code, they can't do that stuff, but you complement each other's skills and you complement the things. Or maybe this guy doesn't know anything. He doesn't know much. He doesn't know about like what we're doing, or like he wants to do something else. So you try the skill, you get better at it, you try 110%, and then you just feed that information to that person, and then you go on to the next thing. And then once you have attained more knowledge and you're more knowledgeable, this is your knowledge coming out of your brain, you give this to the other guy again, which causes you what? Which causes a positive correlation in between you passing on the skill and him becoming, and you and both becoming intelligent and also reaching towards your goal, which was the whole point. Let me write a goal. Boom. Now, do not micromanage everything. Let bro cook. Be like these capybaras. They're pretty G's. He's like, hold up, let him cook. Now, the reason I'm saying is why is that you will fail. I fail, you fail, everybody fails. Do not hone people to death. This is what I was bad at. But of course, you still need to be holding them accountable. It's going to be like, hey, what are you doing? So like, you can ask what, but you can be like, okay, that's fine. And if you find the reason, it's like, yeah, I was testing this and then this didn't work. Then it's like, oh, right, okay, because he didn't know any better. That's fine. You make mistakes. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You ask them, why did you make it? So there's this kind of embarrassment happening as well, so you don't repeat it because you have another person holding you accountable. But on top of that, what you do in the end is like, okay, it didn't work out. Things happen. It's business. Don't be super emotional about it. This alone correlation of not micromanaging and let the person actually express on what they're doing will give you better ideas, because they're like, okay, I can test ideas. If I'm wrong, I'm just gonna tell bro what it is or tell my partner what it is. And if they're good, we win. And if they don't, then it's all right. We learned something, right? So there's no like win and loss. So either you're gonna win or you're gonna learn. That's it. Okay, one more thing. You both need to burn. As soon as one takes the work or pain too much, everything changes. So you and him, both of you, need to be on each other's back. So if he does 100 push-ups, you're gonna do 100 push-ups. If he's making money, you also make money, right? As soon as one person starts to do all thing, and again you start becoming this laziness, you get into this sort of habitat, you're gone. You're gone. You're literally gone. And the reason why I am saying this to you, or why I want to conduct this, is because most people, what they do is that, like, once something works and one person has found out, they're like, oh, they take it back. They're just chilling. You don't chill. You do not chill. If you chill, you're gone. So that's super important. You both need to burn at the same time for the game. If not, both of you are gonna crash and just be gone out of this entire game in general. The goal will not be achieved in the end because that's what you guys want to do. Now, the overarching principle that I want to make with this video, and you guys can kind of like keep a mental note, is that find someone who's already making money in some sort of way and you know him. That's the best thing advice I can give you. Don't find someone who's doing nothing and hasn't like made any money at all, right? Now there are exceptions like me. I'm joking, but like I had some experience in the start, or I was just home. Now of course some people are special. There are going to be exceptions, which you guys need to take care of. But like, yeah, if you find that exceptional guy, just stick with them. Like that will be like kind of like my thing. If you find someone exceptional, if you find someone that's like has the hunger, who's just fucking crazy and insane, who just wants to win like anything, doesn't matter if you're getting results or not, not leave that person, because in the end he's gonna win. And it's better if you or him, both of them, reach the goals faster together than you would. The people say, oh, if you want to go like a faster, you go alone. If you want to go longer, you go together. That's wrong. You want to go faster and longer, you do it with two people. Bye, guys.